This is an All Sports Station production.
Today, from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, this is Madden NFL 21. It's the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the New York Jets.
A month or two from now, the chilly hand of winter will certainly seize upon the Midwest, but for now, it's a great afternoon for football at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here at Arrowhead as their beloved Chiefs took field, and they are set to match up with the New York Jets. Ready to get us started. Sam Ficken has it teed up, and we are underway from Arrowhead. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
Second and 9 now. Buying time to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And Robinson with a big catch. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Check line 54, line 54. Cut. Right there, 54.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 21st and 10. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And give him 6. You stop near the 35 at the 34.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On second down, it's Bell. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 29. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Now a first down carry by Bell. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on third down. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go. It's Edwards-Helaire. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. He's got Denzel Mims, the rookie from Baylor. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
I really like this youngster coming out of Baylor, partner, because he has the ability to get deep with his speed. Long strider. You love him on outside routes. But what I really liked about him is the ability to go up and get the football. Obviously, the Jets were looking to replace Robbie Anderson. I think they've got a really skilled target here for their young quarterback, Sam Darnold.
And here's the game's number 3 all-time rusher, Frank Gore. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Run there by Frank Gore, and he has to be one of the most admired players in the NFL. Started the 2020 season, number 3 all-time on the rushing list, less than 1,400 yards shy of Walter Payton as the season kicked off. Spent a year with Coach Adam Gase in Miami. Now he's hooked back up with him again with the New York Jets.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Second and 11. Now Gore. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Completion there to Brashad Perriman, and the best part of his game coming out of UCF, his ability to run. A sub-4.4 sprinter. They need him now in New York to replace speedster Robbie Anderson, who signed with Carolina. He's going to take over the outside vertical routes that Anderson provided, and they're hoping for big plays downfield.
On 4th down, rookie Braden Mann will punt for the Jets. Mecole Hardman, Pro Bowler last year as a rookie, is deep for KC. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. For the Kansas City Chiefs, 5-1 and sitting pretty in the AFC West. They get the Monday night road win in Buffalo Week 6. And remember, the Chiefs were coming up the season to the Ravens Sunday, but they showed their championship form again with a victory over a very good Bills team. Now coming up, they travel to Denver to take on a Bronco team that's won 2 straight, followed by a home game against the currently 0-6 and really struggling New York Jets. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Mike 46. Mike 46.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. First catch on that one for Kelce, and it's a 1st down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Coming up on 2nd and 7.
Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Check 15.
Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 42. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
I don't think there's any doubt that we'll see a little bit more of McCole Hardman as a receiver in year 2. First year, used him a little bit as a gimmick. Throw it to him occasionally, some jet sweeps, maybe some return game. But he really came on late in the season. 538 yards, 6 touchdowns. A pretty darn good year for a rookie receiver. And really made his huge impact as a return guy. Earned a Pro Bowl nomination in his first season.
They'll run on first down. Bell flashed the stick skills but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd and 4. Completes it to Hardman. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 22-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
From the 10, 1st and goal. Now back to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
Tyreek Hill certainly makes a front office look good when they spend a 5th-round pick on a guy. Then in his first 4 seasons, 4 Pro Bowl nominations. Anytime he touches the football, he's a threat to take it the distance. Hard to get on the ground one-on-one in the open field. If you miss, in the blink of an eye, he's putting 6 on the board.
The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
95, Mike, 195.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. From 4 yards out, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
All-pro tight end Travis Kelce had 97 catches last year in the regular season on his way to a Super Bowl title with Kansas City. And while he's a weapon anywhere on the field, as you get closer to the end zone, you really have to look out. Witness what he did in the playoffs. 3 touchdown catches against Houston in the divisional round, and a big one in the Super Bowl against San Francisco, which keyed Kansas City's comeback.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The football going back to the New York Jets. 0-6 now for the Jets with Sam Darnold sidelined in Week 6. Jets traveling to Miami. And it was Joe Flacco, of course, former Super Bowl MVP with the Ravens under center. He came into this game with an undefeated 6-0 record against the Dolphins. It unfortunately had no effect on this outcome. The Jets accruing 80 yards in penalties. That didn't help. They had to punt 10 times. And, Charles, they failed to score a single point as things for the Jets just seemingly seem to get worse and worse every week.
So what you're telling me is that the punter's going to spend a little extra time in the training room this week. He's got to be exhausted, right? Make sure he gets his leg back going again. They're the last winless team in the NFL. Lost every game this season by at least 9 points. 0-6 only once in franchise history, and that was in 1996. And that team, guess what, Brandon? They finished 1-15. We're just trying to find the one this year for the New York Jets. How about this in the next couple of weeks? Home for Buffalo, then they go to Kansas City. Good luck with that one.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run with Samaje's younger cousin. This is LaMichael Pirine. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Darnold from the gun. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Denzel Mims, the rookie, the intended receiver there. And it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 39-yard line. On 1st down, it's Gore. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold setting up the screen to Pirine. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Braden Mann now as he's on to punt for New York. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Fights off the defender. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Pretty good 1st down play. Keeps them ahead of schedule, as they say.
And ostensibly, they could go right back to it because there are multiple options on this play. Hand it inside, quarterback tucks it and keeps it, quarterback throws the ball downfield. You should be able to react to the defense and have an option available on every snap.
On 2nd down now, it's Bell. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Here's Edwards-Helaire. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. In on the stop, Bradley McDougald.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards there and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Let's bring it. Slam.
They'll look to throw here. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I know it's a little bit of a cliche to talk about all the tight ends who are really wide receivers in the NFL, but Travis Kelce fits that perfectly. He led all tight ends last season with over 1,200 yards receiving, 4th in the NFL. I think he's one of the gold standards in the league for the tight end position, and I don't know if anyone...
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 28 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Butker on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. New York ready to go again offensively. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They'll start on the ground with Gore. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Check right, check right. Check. 53. Check 53.
Now Pirine. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Butker now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. It's Pirine to begin the drive. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Derek Nottie makes the tackle.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. From the 27, Darnold. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He'll get this to LaMichael Pirine out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
First and 10, and they've got three tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Here's Gore. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Gore again here on first down. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Darnold completes it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Crowder's got it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Darnold to throw again. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and 5 from the 8.
Let's go, defense.
Pirine, draw play. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Darnold. Forced out to his left, and it's a touchdown for the Jets.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Now Fick in to kick off following the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
2nd and 1. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1, completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, 1st down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. The Jets have Braxton Berrios back deep. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
On 1st down, Darnold. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He finds Pirine out of the backfield. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's the Jets punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. It was a terrific first half for the veteran quarterback. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And New York set to take the field. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll set up the throw from the gun. He's got this one completed to Mims. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the draw, Pirine. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Another nice play there by Chris Jones, a Pro Bowler for the first time in 2020. A 5-year man out of Mississippi State. I would dare say plenty more Pro Bowls for him coming up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold, he's got Herndon, his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Darnold on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw, Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. Down the numbers, there he goes. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Butker on for the PAT. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs defense making their way back onto the field. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the 50, it's Darnold. Now he steps away. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
2nd and 5. Here's Darnold. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 34-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Denzel Mims that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. Throw complete to Herndon. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Jets turn to kicker Sam Ficken. This a 43-yard attempt. Ficken's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After knocking the field goal through, Ficken now kicking off. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. KC's offense ready to take over. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 45-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 9 from the 44. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Sacked there by Avery Williamson, the linebacker.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll get this underneath to Bell. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 30. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. 46.
They'll set up to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Jordan Jenkins. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. This from 44 yards away. Butker's kick here is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Taken in the end zone. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Jets. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. Open man left side. That's the tight end, Herndon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold. He hits Herndon over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
A third quarter action from Kansas City, second down and 10. To the air again, Darnold. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Darnold to throw again. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll go again with Bell, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
My high school football coach was very fond of saying, you've got to meet force with force. And on a short yardage running play, that's what you're going to encounter. And how about them picking up the first down on that one?
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now a pass that's taken in by Hill, and he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field, but he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Now a first down carry by Bell. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. He'll get 3 up to midfield. The Chiefs on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 5. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 29-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. 54's mark. 54's mark.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete, right around the 8. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And this is incomplete. Oh, Travis Kelce unable to pull it in. And it's 3rd and short.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. New York ready to go again offensively. The interception was a good starting point, but still a huge hill to climb with his 3-score deficit and time fading. After the interception, here's Darnold, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find his tight end, Chris Herndon, but it's going to be 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
From the end zone, here's Darnold. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Butker now to add the extra point. Now he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this carries into the end zone. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Fresh off the pick six, it's Darnold. Throwing right, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Catch there by Jamison Crowder, 78 catches, 833 yards, and 6 touchdowns in 2019. Operates very well out of the slot, one of the niftier receivers in the league.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Mike 53. I don't think you got it, son. 53 is the Mike.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Crowder's got it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
53 is the Mike.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Again, Darnold hooking up over the middle with Herndon. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 36. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Mike 53.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He finds Pirine out of the backfield. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
Darnold with a throw caught by Perriman. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Let's go.
They'll try and push it in with Gore. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Ficking on now for the point after. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a Frank Gore touchdown run. Now Fickin to kick off following the touchdown. Here's Mecole Hardman. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let him go out there with a little bit more confidence.
The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now Edwards-Helaire. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking out play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
2nd, 3rd levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved. This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Bell. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 33. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, here's Edwards-Helaire. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. Butker's kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
There you go. There you go.
Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Darnold on 1st down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Darnold. And dropping it off underneath, here's Pirine. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. On first down, it's Darnold, able to connect with Mims. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Throwing again is Darnold. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.